Hey? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We got a little bit straightening going on.
Takeoff, they was down here with y'all. But they seen you walking by. He's laying on the ground. You got Mike bending down, and they seen you walking by. What took place there?
This the crazy thing about that video, right? Is
problem, Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you're trying to be a street nigga, you failed. You failed. You failed. You failed. I'm telling you that.
This ain't just some industry squabble. It's a full-blown war that's been simmering behind the scenes until now. Mase just lit the match. He leaked a private phone call between Jay Prince and Takeoff, and nobody saw that coming. Now Prince is in full panic mode, throwing threats, scrambling for damage control, losing it all the way. But Mase, he didn't fold. He fired back hard and aired Prince out in a way that had folks shook. He said what a lot of people been whispering for a while now, but were too scared to say out loud. And all of this is going down while the streets are still screaming for real answers about what really went down with Takeoff.
Tell you another thing, when you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little like the way you talking. I don't get what you mean. We're not your little. It's like for
That night in Houston, still looking shady, missing footage, silent witnesses, and the same two names keep popping up again and again. Jay Prince Jr. and DJ Pat. Their names keep popping up, and now this leaked call. It flips the whole game. But here's the real twist. If what Mase said is true, then Prince ain't just messy with his image. He might be hiding something way darker. And don't trip, because before this video ends, I'm bringing the heat. We're talking receipts, witness tweets, video clips, podcast threats, and even shady bail money moves. It's all coming out. People online are straight up dragging Jay Prince, calling him a fake community figure, a cartel-style fixer, and some are even saying he's got blood on his hands. This ain't just another YouTube drama rundown. This goes all the way back to Takeoff's last moments, the mob ties link, and why Prince is suddenly sweating now that the wrong voice is speaking out. So here's the deal. Mase had been keeping cool for a minute until Prince started tossing slick shots on that $1 million worth of game podcast. That's when it got real.
You wasn't really right there with Takeoff when he was alive. You know what I mean? So
Mase and Cam had stayed quiet about the Houston stuff for months, but Prince pushed too far. Mase claims he heard a call where Prince was allegedly talking to Takeoff just hours before he was gone. And what Mase said was on that call. It wasn't no friendly chat. Prince was allegedly pressing Takeoff heavy about some loyalty drama going down behind closed doors. And it wasn't in no big brother type of tone. This wasn't a chill convo. Mase made it sound like Prince was moving real shady, trying to twist the narrative from the shadows. And once Takeoff stopped playing along, that's when things supposedly took a dark turn. The timing? That's what's got everybody uneasy. That call allegedly happened the same night Takeoff was shot down outside that Houston bowling alley. A dice game, some words exchanged, then gunshots. And just like that, Takeoff was gone at 28. Gone way too soon. After Mase let it all out, Prince snapped. He jumped on social media throwing veiled threats and even circled back to those shots he had already fired at Offset. Remember that moment? When he said, "You wasn't really there with Takeoff when he was alive," and said it twice like he wanted it to sting? That kicked off the Offset versus Prince drama, with Cardi B even stepping in to defend her man. But now that Mase is pulling back the curtain on this private convo, Prince is scrambling again. Except this time, it's looking way too late. The street's been talking, and they're sick of the silence. One fan on X hit the nail on the head. Nobody respects Jay Prince after Takeoff was on his watch. This is where things started to look real sideways for Jay Prince and that whole Mob Ties crew. After Takeoff passed, it didn't take long before Patrick Xavier Clark, aka DJ Pat, got cuffed. But here's the wild part. He posted a $1 million bond and walked out of jail like it was no big deal. Fast and easy, like someone with serious pull didn't want him locked up for long. And then there's this. Folks online been saying Jay Prince walked right past Takeoff's lifeless body and said, "Call that. Don't ask me none about that." That's cold, if true. But it gets even weirder. Jay Prince Jr. allegedly had his name removed from DJ Pat's bond paperwork. Now, why would you want to erase your name from something like that? Especially when y'all were all together that night. Sounds like somebody's trying to back away quick now that the spotlight's burning hot. And trust, it's not just DJ Pat people are looking at anymore. Remember Cameron? Joshua, aka Lil Cam 5th, got scooped up on weapon charges right after Takeoff was killed. And guess what? He's tied to mob ties too. It's like every time somebody ends up hurt or worse, there's always a mob ties name floating in the mix. Yet they still out here playing the victim? Nah, the streets ain't buying that anymore. Even before Takeoff, there were warning signs, like Duke the Jeweler came down to Houston, checked in with mob ties, shot some dice, and never made it back home. Same setup, same silence. And once again, Jay Prince's name quietly lurking in the background.
When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little like the way you talking. I don't get what you mean. We're not your little.
And let's not forget that strange clip of Jay Prince telling his shotgun man to fall back. That move felt off, like it was all part of a script. It's starting to look like a blueprint. Invite big-name artists to Houston, make them check in with mob ties, set up a dice game, then boom, arguments, confusion, someone ends up gone. And after that, Jay Prince posts some polished message about black-on-black violence, or grief is the price of love. Man, cut the PR act. Where was all that when blood hit the pavement? To this day, none of the Princes showed up at Takeoff's funeral, not one. If that ain't suspicious, what is? Maybe there's a reason they kept their distance. Folks are saying they got blood on their hands, and deep down, they just might know it. Jay Prince Jr. be out here tweeting stuff like, "Don't wear jewelry around vultures, but let's be real. If you know your guests ain't safe, why bring them around that crowd in the first place? Why didn't you warn Quavo and Takeoff if things were already getting heated? If your whole check-in system ain't protecting lives, then what's it really doing?" Reports say Quavo was arguing with Jay Prince Jr. right before the bullets started flying. And now, new footage shows Prince brushing it all off like his name ain't been tied to the chaos. Like Takeoff didn't get killed under his crew's so-called watch. Then Jay Prince had the nerve to throw shots on $1 million worth of game. And that's when Mase snapped. He didn't just defend himself. He went at Prince's entire image. No holding back. "Live and direct," he said. "We not your little. We are not your little name." And the way he said it, that wasn't no tweet. That was a straight-up gut punch. Mase was speaking for everybody who's ever felt boxed in by that whole check-in hustle Prince been pushing for decades. And what made it worse? Cameron co-signed the whole thing. He didn't interrupt, didn't disagree, just sat back and let Mase unload. And that's rare coming from Cam, who usually stays calculated. Fans now think Mase had that leaked call in the stash for a while, just waiting for Prince to slip up. And man, he did exactly that. While things were heating up, Offset mostly kept his mouth shut until Jay Prince tried to drag his name through the mud, claiming he was never really there for Takeoff. That's when Offset snapped, and Cardi B, she jumped in right after, loud and clear, letting the world know they ain't scared of mob ties. And if you know Cardi, then you know she don't bluff. That right there, that's when fans knew this wasn't just music politics anymore. This was personal. Jay Prince just got called out by a celebrity power couple with real influence. And now, his street rep is cracking under pressure, out in the open for everyone to see. And here's the part most folks don't catch. Big name's been slowly sliding away from Prince. You watch close enough? The first to back off was Drake. That man used to be all over mob ties. Mentions, reposts, showing love nonstop. But now, crickets. Not a single word. Not even a shout out. And that's wild, because Jazz Prince is literally the one who brought Drake to Wayne and Young Money. Still, since Takeoff passed, Drake been ghosting J. Prince Jr. completely. Same with Jay-Z. Word in the streets is, Hov hasn't answered a single peace call from Mob Ties since early 2023. And y'all already know, Jay don't do public drama. He just cuts the line and keeps it moving. No replies, no ties. Why? Because these big names got billion-dollar brands behind them. Corporations, partnerships, endorsements. None of them want to be anywhere near federal heat, especially not with those whispers connecting the Takeoff case back to Prince and crew. And now that Mase is out here revealing behind-the-scenes convos, there's no hiding anymore. Staying quiet ain't enough now. The only reason Mob Ties ever held that street power was because of the check-in system. Come to Houston, link with J. Prince Jr., and you'd supposedly be safe. But now, that whole setup's falling apart. Duke the Jeweler checked in, gone. Takeoff checked in, gone. And fans are out here tweeting like crazy, calling out the pattern. This right here is why nobody's checking in anymore. The ones demanding respect couldn't even protect the people under their so-called protection. Even artists out of Cali been speaking up, calling the check-in system a straight-up trap. Just a power move for local gatekeepers to flex like they're bigger than they really are. And when Mase finally said it out loud, that Prince is just a failed street boss trying to play mob boss, the internet couldn't unsee it after that. The mask came off, and folks been looking at everything different. Now let's get into something real shady. The witnesses. The night Takeoff was killed, there were over 40 people outside 810 Billiards and Bowling. We've all seen the videos, heard the chaos. So how come barely anyone's come forward? Word is, some of those witnesses got hit with threats, serious ones. Now people online are pointing fingers, accusing Mob Ties of paying folks off, scrubbing footage, and setting DJ Pat up to take the whole blame by himself. And here's one of the wildest theories floating around. They say J. Prince Jr. was arguing with Quavo that night, and Takeoff wasn't even part of it. But he still ended up getting hit. So now folks are wondering, was it just a mistake or a warning that went too far? Now this is where things get wild. Sources close to Mase and Cam's inner circle say there's a real chance that phone call between Prince and Takeoff was recorded, whether by accident or on purpose by someone on the line. And word on the street, Cam and Mase been allegedly holding that audio, just in case Prince tried to pull something slick. If that tape leaks, it could blow the whole thing wide open. Whatever Prince really said to Takeoff, if there were threats, pressure, or shady demands, it's all possibly on record. And don't forget, we're not talking about just anybody here. This is Mase, the same man who walked away from D, fought the industry, and came back swinging. If that call goes public, that's game over for J. Prince's reputation. That's the real Mob Ties indictment right there. Because guess what? The feds are already watching. This ain't just rap fans keeping score anymore. Every time Prince or his son hops on camera talking slick, someone in a suit is taking notes. And now with Mase speaking loud and clear, they're really listening. RICO laws don't care if you're a legend in hip-hop. They care about alleged witness tampering, threats, and organized moves. And when folks like Offset, Cameron, Mase, and a massive fan base are calling out blood on your hands, the label can't shield you, the city can't cover for you. And all those check-ins, useless now. They mean nothing now. All those check-ins, all that clout, it's dust if your name ends up on that paperwork. And through all this noise, we gotta remember what this was really about. Takeoff. A quiet genius. The peaceful soul of Migos. He wasn't chasing drama, didn't care for clout, just bars, family, and good vibes. And the fact that his life ended over a dice game, surrounded by people who claimed they loved him, that's the real heartbreak. Prince tried to drop his condolences on Instagram, saying, "Grief is the price of love." But real ones ain't trying to hear that. Not when blood spilled under your watch and you walked away like it was business as usual. The streets want real answers. Not tweets, not polished PR statements, and definitely not cryptic podcast quotes. Real answers. What Mase did wasn't just a clapback. He kicked the door open. He showed that the fear surrounding J. Prince is crumbling fast. People ain't scared no more. And if Prince keeps trying to control the narrative, he might lose everything. From that rumored leaked call, to the feds tuning in, to artists pulling away and witnesses disappearing. This story, far from finished. All those check-ins, all that talk, it means nothing now, especially when your name starts showing up on that paperwork. But through all the drama, let's not lose sight of what this is really about. Takeoff. He was the quiet genius behind Migos. No clout chasing, no messy headlines, just bars, family, and vibes. He stayed out the way. And the fact that his life got cut short over a dice game, surrounded by people who claim to love him, that's the real tragedy here. Jay Prince dropped some IG caption talking about, "Grief is the price of love," but real ones don't want to hear that. Not when blood spilled right under your nose and you walked off like it was just another night. The streets aren't buying polished quotes or podcast riddles. They want real answers, raw and unfiltered. What Mase did, that wasn't just a response. That was a straight-up power shift. He cracked the wall of fear surrounding Jay Prince, and now folks ain't scared to speak no more. From whispers of leaked calls, to the feds locked in, to artists quietly stepping back and witnesses fading into silence. This story is only heating up, and if Prince keeps trying to script the narrative, he just might lose everything. Prince snapped. Mase clapped back. And now, the world's watching. Drop some comments if you're locked in. Smash that like button, tap subscribe, and turn on them notifications. 'Cause what's coming next, it's even crazier.